Hello, so today I'm going to guide you through a short practice that was originally intended for runners, although anyone can do this. We'll be focusing on stretching out different muscles of the legs and also strengthening the lower back. So to get started, find a block or a couple of books or blankets to sit on just so your hips come higher than your knees. We'll take a cross-legged position. So you can have the ankles aligned and one in front of the other, like so, or you can do ankles underneath the knees. So rest your palms on top of your thighs. And take some shoulder rugs here. So lifting the shoulders up, forward, down, and back. And changing the direction. So rolling them backwards. Feeling the length between the bottoms of the ears and the tops of the shoulders each time the shoulders drop. And then eventually coming back to stillness. Begin rolling your neck slowly towards clockwise. Pausing if you feel any aches or cracks. Moving very slowly here. And then begin to change direction. And eventually finding stillness once more. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to begin to twist to the right. Placing your right hand on top of your sacrum and your left hand on the outside of the right thigh, gazing over the right shoulder. Twisting through the torso here, expanding the collarbones, feeling both sit bones rooted into the mat or into the block. Then inhale, arms through the center. Exhale to twist to the left, looking over the left shoulder. With each exhale, seeing if you could twist a little bit further to the left. Inhale to come back through center, arms alongside the ears. Exhale to lower the left hand outside the left thigh and lean over to the left, gazing up towards the sky here. Again, feeling both sit bones rooted into the block, rooted into the mat. Inhale to come through center. Exhale to lower the right hand next to the right hip. And bring the left arm alongside the cheek. Inhale to come through center. Exhale to make your way onto hands and knees. We're going to take a couple of cycles of cat and cow. So shoulders are above the wrists, hips are above the knees. On the exhale, drop the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the face. For cow pose, exhale, belly to spine, drop the face, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the face. Cow pose, exhale, tuck the tailbone, drop the face, cat pose. Take a couple more rounds of cat and cow at your own pace, following the rhythm of your own breath. With cow pose on the inhale and cat pose on the exhale. After you finish your next cycle, come back to a neutral position into tabletop. Walk your hands about handprint forward. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and press back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And so downward facing dog is great for running because of the hamstring stretch and also releasing tension in the neck. So take any movements here that may feel nice, pedaling out the feet. Nodding the head yes, shaking the head no thank you to release tension, then eventually finding stillness. Feel your heels press towards the mat. Your hips are lifting up towards the sky, and all parts of your hand are pressing into the mat, even the space between the index finger and the thumb. Inhale here. Exhale to lower the knees to the ground, untuck the toes, widen the knees, and sit the sit bones back to meet the heels, finding a child's pose, a wide-legged child's pose, or balasana, resting your forehead onto the mat. Feel the nice stretch into the spine. Nice stretch for the lower back. Breathing here. Inhale to press into the hands, coming back through tabletop, and then tucking the toes, lifting the hips, finding downward dog once more. Inhale to come forward to plank. Exhale to lower the knees, keeping the hips high. Lower the chest and chin towards the ground, finding Ashtra Pranam. So the toes are tucked here. You can roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Inhale here. Exhale to slither forward, finding baby cobra. Untuck the toes. Release the arms so they're alongside you. The forehead is facing towards the center. On the inhale, lift the tops of your feet, your hands, your chest for locust pose. The toes are tucked here. Arms are strong. Fingertips are pointing back behind you. Neck is long. Inhale here. Exhale, lower, and rest your favorite cheek on the mat. Bring your forehead back to center. Inhale to lift the tops of the feet, the legs, the arms, the chest. Finding locust pose once more. And this is great for strengthening the lower back. Inhale here. Exhale to lower, resting the other cheek onto the mat. Bring your forehead back to the center of the mat. Inhale to lift the tops of the feet, the hands, the chest for the last round of locust pose. As you know, the lower back is important to strengthen to protect the core, which helps stabilizes the body while running. Inhale here. Exhale, lower, and bring your hands underneath the shoulders here. Tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the hips, finding downward facing dog. Inhale to come forward to plank. Lower the knees, chest, chin, finding Ashtanapranam, 8-point prayer. Elbows are pressing in towards one another. Inhale here. Exhale to slither forward to baby cobra. And this time, choose which height of cobra feels good for you. So you may be fine in this lower cobra. You may want to rise up into a medium cobra, or you can extend the arms fully, finding a full-grown cobra. And if this is too crunchy in the lower back, lower down to what feels comfortable for you. But again, we're focusing on strengthening the lower back, stretching it out. Gaze can be up towards the sky if you're in the full expression of cobra. Inhale here. Exhale to tuck the toes, lift the hips, and press back into downward facing dog. Begin to walk the hands in closer to you, taking your time, perhaps bending the knees, coming into a bend, forward fold, and then heel toe your feet. So they're about hips width distance of them, or not hips width distance, max width distance. And the toes will be pointing out. You're going to bend at the knees and sink the sit bones towards the ground, pressing the elbows into the inner thighs, finding a yogi squat here. Option is to take a block or a couple of books underneath the sit bones. Hanging out here. Extend the right arm long beside you, and then lengthen the left arm up. Keys can be up towards those left fingers. You can find a bind here by wrapping your left hand behind your back. The right hand is finding the left hand that's near the right hip. Again, optional here. Let go of the bind and then lower the left hand down, coming back into prayer. You may feel that your right side of the groin feels a bit more open than left. So we'll work on the left side this time. Lengthening left arm long, extend the right arm up towards the sky, gazes over at the fingertips, and then wrap the right hand around and search for the left hip if you'd like. Finding a bind at the left side. Gazes up towards the right. Let go of whatever you're holding on to. Releasing the right arm up towards the sky, and then coming back down. Hands come into prayer, and then make your way onto your sit bones. Extend the right leg out long, and take the left foot and place it onto the right inner thigh. Rotate your torso slightly over the right foot and begin walking your hands out to take hold of the right foot, the right calf, or just lay your hands beside you. This is a great stretch for the hamstrings. Something interesting is while you're stretching the hamstrings, you're actually letting the opposite muscle group relax. So in this case, that would be the quads. And I know my quads get really sore when I run. So if you tend to get sore quads, you may think that you need to stretch your quads more. But while they're sore, it's actually best to just stretch out the opposite muscle group instead. So your sore muscles can have a rest. So keeping the foot flexed here, whichever variation you're in, bringing your forehead towards the knee. And then begin to place your palms on the mat if they're not there already. Slowly walking your hands in close to your body, swapping out the legs. So extending the left leg long, taking the right foot and placing it on the inner left thigh. Rotating the body slightly over the left foot, keeping the left foot flexed. And walk your hands over to take hold of your left foot, the left calf, or resting your palms on either side of your left leg, bringing your forehead to your left knee. And yeah, I forgot to offer this on the other side, but you can always have a prop on top of your knee so your forehead can rest on something that has a really nice grounding effect. Then begin to walk your hands in close to your body. Keeping the right knee bent, we'll just move the right shin out slightly so it's parallel to the front of your mat. Then we'll take the left leg and stack it on top. And then option here, we're moving into double pigeon. If this already feels too intense, I invite you to find figure 4, so that would be to come onto your back and cross your left leg over your right thigh, creating a figure 4 here. And then you can take hold of the back of the right leg, like so. But for double pigeon, and yeah, both poses are gonna give you the same effect of the stretch in the right outer hip. So for double pigeon, we have our ankles stacked on top of the knees. And option here, if you have a lot of space, you can add a prop if you would like, but it's also fine if you're just hanging out a little bit like I am. And so lengthen the spine, bring the hands onto either side of the hip, look up towards the sky, take a deep inhale here, and then exhale. Begin walking the hands out in front of you, stopping at any point you would like. Feeling a nice stretch in the right outer hip. I don't realize how sore my hips get from running until I come into hip stretches. And at first, hip stretches might feel really awkward and unbearable, but the more you practice them, you'll start to realize that it becomes easier and it's actually a really nice release. And yeah, your feet are relaxed here. They could be flexed. You can walk your hands out a little further if you start easing into the pose, letting yourself melt here. Begin to walk your hands in closer to your body and untangle the legs, bringing both the feet onto the mat, and take some windshield wipers here, moving the knees back and forth, releasing the hips. And then coming back to stillness, and then this time laying your left shin so it's parallel to the front of the mat and it's on the bottom, and then stacking your right shin on top. And if you took figure four on the other side, go ahead and take it on this side as well. So it will inhale, pressing the palms into the mat, looking up towards the sky, the spine is lengthened, and then exhale, begin walking your hands out in front of you. Melting into the side. Breathe into the space that you feel the stretch here. Trying your best not to check out. You may feel the stretch in the outer right hip and even in the outer left hip. Keeping the hands pressed into the mat. Begin to walk the hands in close to your body. And then untangle the legs, bringing the feet onto the mat. Windshield wipering your legs once more. And then bringing your feet back into a cross-legged position like we started class. We are all done, and thank you so much for tuning in and practicing with me. Thanks.